Hey, so CEDIA is this week, and with that comes visiting booths and looking at demos. Unfortunately, I think there's just a handful of demos out there that get played way too often. Not to say that these demos are bad, but I just think there's better stuff out there. So ranging from a scale of good demo but overplayed to absolute dumpster fire trash, I'm going to list off the demos that I'm kind of tired of seeing. So I do want to make it clear that these are not necessarily bad demos. It's just given the nature of CEDIA and having such a high noise floor because of all the stuff that's going around outside the booth, that they aren't really a test of how good the system can be. So with that out of the way, let's get started. Okay, so starting off pretty light, we have the bullet farm scene from Furiosa. There's nothing wrong with the scene acoustically or visually. In fact, it's one of my favorite scenes to demo. The real issue was that last year especially, it got played like at every single booth. I mean, I saw this demo probably 10 times a day because it was just shown at that many booths. Again, nothing wrong with the scene. Not too tired of looking at it because it's a good scene. It's been overplayed a little bit. Okay, so turning up the heat just a little bit, we have the race scene from Ready Player One. Again, this isn't a bad scene. I think it's starting to show its age a little bit with how dynamic the mix is. It's still like a standard scene for every home theater demo, especially at CEDIA. My main issue is that it's kind of having that noise floor issue where most of the demos at 11, and then when it's not at 11, it's like at a 9 or 10. So it's not necessarily the most dynamic acoustically, and it's not necessarily the most active mix. Again, not a bad demo, but a little bit overplayed, a little bit, too familiar with what we've seen. I just think it's starting to show its age a little bit. Okay, moving on, we're kind of getting to the category of demos that I really just don't like seeing anymore. Again, it's not a mark on the film itself. Some of these are my favorite films of all time. It's just these demos are starting to show their age. And the one that immediately comes to mind is the 2 minutes and 30 second scene from Top Gun Maverick. Again, this is a really cool scene from a really cool movie, but acoustically, this scene isn't all that active. Your front wides won't get any usage. Your Atmos won't get that much. I mean, you can kind of hear the mountains passing by when he's going through the canyon. But other than that, there's a surprising little amount of bass if you go back and watch it. Again, if you don't have like a super duper high 15 plus dB house curve on your bass, and you make it a little bit more accurate, you'll realize that this scene doesn't really have all that much bass. And it's not the most active mix. And I just think, a few years ago, this was the high watermark of sound. And with mixes becoming more active these days, it's no longer king. Okay, so moving on to a scene that I just don't like. I like the movie. I really like the movie. Don't like the scene. And that is the Mustang debut from Ford v Ferrari. Again, it's a cool movie, but why they choose a scene without any racing in a movie about racing, I have no idea. You get like 2 seconds of a plane flying over your head, and that's about it. The rest of it is just normal static mix with dialogue, and that's about it. So again, I like the movie. Why this scene is the most popular to pick from when there's plenty of other racing scenes. There's the Ford GT test scene that sounds better. I can't tell you. Continuing with demos that I just flat out don't like anymore. I used to like it at one point, but that would be the opening to The Greatest Showman. I get it. The big stomp at the beginning. I get it. It's a lot of bass. It's a lot of fun. But that is probably 10 seconds of like a 2-minute demo. And the rest of the 2 minutes is, again, a practically static mix. There's nothing really particularly interesting with the audio. Some really cool HDR effects with the fire, but again, outside of that, there really just isn't anything else. All right, so next up, we have a film that I'm not a fan of. I don't like the demos. I don't like how it sounds. And that is the We Will Rock You scene from Bohemian Rhapsody. I don't know what kind of blackmail this movie has on the home theater industry that they have to play that scene at almost every single booth. But there's just an infinite amount of movies out there that have way better mixes, I mean, I would rather watch any second of A Star Is Born than watch Bohemian Rhapsody. It's not active. It is kind of boring to look at, kind of boring to watch. Again, I know people are fans of it. I personally don't like the mix or the movie. Star Is Born is like way better to demo. Okay, so moving on to our final film. This is the trash dumpster fire demo that I do not like. It actively ruins my day when I see it. I'm being dramatic. But that would be whatever the final music scene from Sing, that animated movie. I don't know what kind of blackmail or chokehold or whatever that movie has on CEDIA or like home theater in general, but I cannot escape that scene. It's not active, it's not interesting to listen to, it's not a dynamic mix. Every time I see it in like one of these $1 million home theater setups that they do at CEDIA, I'm like, what is this doing here? You're telling me you have Alien Romulus, you have Dune Part 1 and 2, you have A Quiet Place, you have like just an infinite number of movies that have way better mixes and way better HDR and everything else, and you choose this scene from this movie. It completely baffles my mind. Like I don't understand why this is such a popular scene to pick. I mean, like even if you just wanted a scene with people singing, you have A Star Is Born. You have the solo from The Greatest Showman. I mean, like there's just so many other scenes that like they're just better. I'm getting upset right now just thinking about it because I know for a fact that I'm going to see this scene at CEDIA in a couple days. And when I do, I will update you on the channel because I know I'm going to see it. And I see it every year. And I don't know why it's there. So that's probably my number one pick. It's just ridiculous that I think that see, this keeps showing up. So anyway, keep a lookout for that. I'll give you guys some updates on what's going on. I really am looking forward to CEDIA. I think there's some new movies that have come out that are going to dominate some of the demos, especially like what I said with Alien Romulus. I think that's one of the best mixes ever. I think Warfare this year is going to just be at almost every booth. It has such a fantastic mix. So I'll keep you updated and I'll take some pictures and some videos while I'm at CEDIA. I guess that's it. Thank you for watching.